Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, folks, believe it or not, we are 1 week away from being halfway through our spring season of shows, so that lets you know that spring sports are halfway over, and the end of the school year is in sight. All of a sudden, it's been a fast year, and of course, we're into a very busy time during the spring. And tonight on our show, we've got an outstanding softball coach and an outstanding girls soccer coach. And speaking about soccer, I want to give you an update on some of the teams here in the Birmingham area that are doing very well. As a matter of fact, in boys soccer, Class 7A, we've got 3 teams. Oak Mountain's number 1 in the state, Spain Park number 3, Vestavia Hills is number 4. In Class 6A, we have Homewood ranked number 4. We have Briarwood Christian number 7, Pelham number 8, and Chelsea number 10. So Class 7A and 6A in boys soccer are very well represented. In the girls side of the ledger, number 1, Oak Mountain. Notice they're number 1 in both the boys and girls. Number 2 is Vestavia Hills, Spain Park number 5, Hoover number 6, Mountain Brook number 7, Thompson number 8. And in Class 6A, you've got Chelsea number 2, Homewood number 5, Gardendale number 7, Briarwood number 9, and number 1 in Class 6A is John Carroll, of course, from here in Birmingham. And in Class 5A, Springville is ranked number 6 in the 4 and 5A ranking. So that just gives you an idea, folks, of how competitive the teams are here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area in both soccer, boys and girls, and baseball and softball. So I tell you what, once again, we're going to be expecting champions out of the Birmingham area come the end of the spring season, and those championship runs will be taking place very soon. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our very first guest of the evening, don't you go away.
You know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors. A company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number 1 objective. And folks, welcome back. We have our first guest of the evening, and an outstanding softball coach in his first year as head coach. I believe we're talking about Jordan Burson of the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies. And Coach, before we get the interview started, tell us a little bit about your background and how you did end up as the head coach there.
Well, I got into the softball world when I was at the University of Alabama, and I got an opportunity to help out with Coach Murphy, and I was just a manager for them down there in Tuscaloosa, and I did that for 5 years. And after I graduated from Alabama, I was looking for a teaching job, and it ended up working out for me to come out to Hewitt-Trussville and help out with Coach Johns. And I was just an assistant coach last year, and she's actually the athletic director in Trussville,
Right.
so it just worked out for me to step in as the head coach this year.
When you were at the school, you were a manager, you didn't play. Did you play any sports at Alabama?
I didn't play any sports at Alabama, no sir. I graduated from Oak Mountain High School,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
from the Birmingham area.
Yeah.
Yes sir. So I played some sports at Oak Mountain, and then when I was at Alabama, I was just a manager for the softball team.
Well, now this team has been pretty good for you this year. And what were your expectations heading into the year? And talk about your team a little bit from the offensive side, defensive side, and of course probably in softball about the main positions your pitcher. For the simple reason, if the other teams don't score on you, you got a chance to win them all, don't you?
That's right.
But talk about your team from that aspect.
Yes, sir. Well, we had very high expectations coming into this season. Last year, they had kind of gotten in a rut where they couldn't quite get past regionals, and we finally got over that hump last year, made it to state, and so this year we have the highest of expectations. We want to win state, and we came in with that mindset, and we go into every game with the same mindset of just we're getting past that single game and moving on from there. We have a stacked lineup from top to bottom. Everybody can hit. That's one of the toughest problems I've had this year, is just putting a lineup together for every game, because I mean we have 12 hitters on this team, and you gotta get it down to 9. So it's frustrating. And then we have 2 senior pitchers that are unbelievable in Bailey and Callie, and they've both been outstanding over the last 2 years. Bailey had some injury issues this year that we're working through, but she'll be ready to go down the stretch here. So we'll have both of them.
When they talk about the challenge from being an assistant coach to moving into that head spot, it's got to be different, not only for the girls, but for you as well. Talk about that challenge.
Yes, sir. Well, it's a lot easier to be an assistant coach, that's for sure. You can just kind of sit back and really last year all I did was call pitches, and I just worked with the pitchers a little bit, came in, they didn't know me, so that was kind of tough for us to get going right out of the gate, but they trusted me and I trusted them, and we meshed really well. And yeah, like I said, this year just had an opportunity to step in as a head coach, and I've learned more over the last 4 months than I've learned in my whole life probably. Just being on the spot all the time and just having to make those big decisions, and it's been a great experience for me though.
Well, now, let me ask you this. The season, I guess, as far as your schedule was concerned, was probably already made before this year, right?
Yes, sir.
And so next year, that'll be your place. Absolutely. Now, are you the kind of coach, we talk about this a lot with our coaches, are you the kind of coach that believes that your team can improve even if they lose a ball game or two if it's against excellent talent? So I guess what I'm saying is, do you have a problem? Do you want that schedule to be where there's some tough games in there, because the girls, win or lose, will learn? As I tell coaches and kids all the time, it's easy to be a winner. But the biggest thing is if you can learn how to pick yourself up and move on after losses and tough losses, you'll grow and you'll be better for it. So from that standpoint, how do you see your schedule shaping up? Do you want some of those games that, and I think every coach likes them, where if your team plays their normal game, they ought to win it. And we're talking about non-regional part of the schedule, because the region part, everybody has to play each other. But what's your philosophy on that, and how do you, what direction you gonna head in next year?
Yes, sir. That's a great question, and I think you see some coaches and teams try to stray away from the tougher opponents to get wins and stuff. But our goal is to play the toughest teams that we possibly can before we get to our area games, so that we're prepared for those games. And with that said, we play in one of the toughest areas in the state with Spain Park, Vestavia, and Mountain Brook, and so we've got to be prepared when we get to those area games. And we try to schedule the best pitchers that we know in the state so that we see great pitching, and also some of the great lineups so that our pitchers see great hitters before we even come to the games that really matter, which are those area games.
Right. Now one thing that I wonder about a lot, and that is, like, are most of your girls strictly softball players, or they participate in other sports, or do you encourage athletes? Would you want your girls to play other sports, or just be some of these kids play their sports 9 to 12 months a year now?
Yes, sir. I would, my philosophy on that would be absolutely encourage them to play as many sports as they can and take advantage of any opportunities that they can. just talking to some of the college coaches, that they constantly are looking for multi-sport athletes because they want to see girls that are diverse and that they can handle a lot on their plate at a time. And yeah, we have a bunch of athletes that also play volleyball or basketball. And so, I love to see them play multiple sports.
Well, the reason I bring that up, and I'm glad to hear your position on it, is I've had physicians that have been friends of the show, and I'll have them on, and we'll talk about injuries, and we'll talk about the young athletes that are playing 12 months a year one sport, and how it's easy, like for the softball player, pitcher in particular. Mm-hmm. Girls can wear their arms out just like the boys do, and these doctors tell me that, Snapper, the best thing for these young athletes is play as many sports as they want to, but diversify a little bit where they use all of their muscles and all that kind of thing. But I imagine a lot of the girls play this, I know they have travel softball and all that. Boy, what a change in our sports life that has made through the years. On one hand, I think you get as good as you possibly can by playing more, but there is that area where you can cross the line and do too much damage, put too much pressure on your arms, instead of playing different sports where you use different ones. Having said that, talk about your team this year as far as the grades. Is it primarily senior laden, or do you have a lot of different graded children or young ladies that are playing softball?
Yes, sir. So with us today, we've got 3 seniors and 1 junior. And then other than that, I think we've got about 5 freshmen, and then we've got 4 or 5 sophomores in there as well. So we're pretty young overall, but we also have a ton of talent in the senior and junior class as well. Well,
and that bodes well because you don't want the cupboard to be bared, so to speak. If you had a primary senior laden team, that could happen. Well, Coach, the one thing that we talk about with coaches all the time, I know your biggest wish is that your girls haven't played their best softball yet. And then the closer you get to the playoffs, does it look like that the team is coming together sort of the way you want it?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Early in the year, I really just wanted to see us come together as a team. And I think we just have so much talent on our team. It's hard when you have a ton of individuals that are just so gifted at what they do. So it's really good to just see them come together as a team. And yeah, I feel like every week we're just getting closer and closer to our goal of just coming together as one unit and just being unstoppable.
Well, Coach, it's been awfully good to meet you, and I'm tickled to death with the success you've had thus far, but I know you are hoping there's a lot more down the road.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, 4 young ladies have been very instrumental in the outstanding season that the Huskies have had thus far. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I've got 4 beautiful young ladies up here. You wouldn't know it, that these pretty women, they're pretty good softball players. And I'm hoping, just like the coach does, that they've had a great season thus far. 17, 7, and 1, and I'm not going to ask what happened on the tie. I don't know why y'all quit before it was over, but that's okay. Great record so far. First sitting closest to me, Maddie Dorsett, senior. You're the shortstop.
Yes, sir.
And she was injured, folks, but the last time the coach and I talked, she was in one piece, but you was hurt during the ball game, right? And they played a great ball game. We'll talk about that in a little bit this past weekend. Bailey Murphy, a senior pitcher. And then Callie Shields, a senior pitcher, right? And finally, last but not least, Sister Sarah Borden. Sarah, you're the 11th grader, and you're the catcher. And you're the one that sees all the action and more or less, you're the little general out there. It's you're sort of like the quarterback and all that kind of thing. So catching is a very important position. Girls, going into this season, you had a pretty good season last year. So I'll start off asking, we'll start with you, Maddie. Going into the season, did you feel like that y'all had the capability and the talent to put together a good season?
Oh yes, sir. By far, we have so much talent on the team, and we just work together. And when it's time to work and get our jobs done, we all come together and we work. And we all came in with the same mindset, wanting to win. And so, yes, sir. I think that we came into this and we're ready to go. Well,
I tell you what, Bailey, I'm going to let you expand on that a little bit, because the coach has talked about what a good hitting team y'all are. Now, that's a good problem to have, because most coaches have teams that have good pitching, outstanding defense. We wish we were stronger hitting. But so what's the secret for all you girls? I mean, do y'all all eat Wheaties for breakfast?
Honestly, I think we grind. We go after practice every single day, and we hit in the cages. A lot of us do extra work. I mean, we just all want this. We all have the same mindset, and we all want it. So we're going to do that extra work to get what we work for. Well, now, Callie, you being a senior as well, what has made this team so special? And let me ask you about this part of it. There's an important aspect of teamwork, and it's called chemistry. If everybody likes each other, and I know this is exceptionally so for young ladies, if you like each other, you'll be the best not only you can be, but that y'all can be as a team. But if you have cat fights and that kind of stuff, and the coach is always having to try to hold down the disorder, you can't be the best you can be. Right. So with that little statement being made, talk about the chemistry of this year's team and how y'all get along and have bonded through the years.
This year's chemistry, we're all a family. We're out there together. We're loving the team for each other. We're on the field every day. We go out to team dinners. We had a Christmas party, actually. We played Dirty Santa. We all love each other, and I mean, it shows this year, and it shows on the field. So this, the play y'all have had doesn't surprise you then, from that standpoint? No, sir. We all love each other. Okay, now Sarah, I'm going to let you expand on this a little bit. You're the junior in the class, but you've been with the team, what, a couple of years already?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, seeing this team grow, talk about how enjoyable it's got to be to talk. When you play it on a team where y'all hit as well as you do and you have good pitching, you're in every ball game. It's got to make you feel good knowing that we got a better chance of winning than we do losing in any game we play in. Talk about that.
It's awesome. Every game I know that we have a good chance to win. We always have a good pitcher in the game. We have 3 awesome pitchers. We have a great defense. We've had to switch it around lately since Maddie got hurt Saturday, and we dominated Saturday even like that. So really every game I'm not worried about it. It's great going into the game. Well, good. Well, now listen, so far we've talked about your athletic prowess and your team and how well you're doing. Well, I like to find out little private things about the athletes on the show. And I'll give you an example. I know athletes, male athletes are this way. I got a feeling you females are too, are very superstitious. You know, y'all are a superstitious bunch. Now, with that thought in mind, this is the first time I've ever met you guys, although we find out we all live in Trussville. Snap Daddy does too. and so I've met you for the first time. You girls are just a joy to be around. But there's got to be something about y'all that I don't know. Maybe you have a superstition, or maybe you have a talent that not many people know about, and I especially don't. And so with that thought in mind, what could you tell me about yourself that might surprise me, or I'd say, really, you do that, or you like that? What would it be? We'll start with you, Maddie.
Well, before each game, I have a certain bow that I wear for each uniform. So I have to do my hair the same way and wear the certain bow for each uniform.
Oh, absolutely. I
Of
could not
course.
imagine you going to the plate with any of the hair out of
Exactly.
place. It's not about how you look. It's really about how you play. But in y'all's case, we look good.
We play good.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Bailey, what about you?
I usually, before every game, I don't know, I'm a big Pink lover. So I'll listen to a bunch of her songs. Yes, very much. I'll listen to a lot of her songs before a game, and it gets me really hyped.
So that's a little of the routine that you have. That's
sir.
an every ball game type thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Callie, what about you?
I'm not superstitious at all, really. I just go out there and play the game. So I guess a fun fact about me, I like to bowl. I bowl all the time.
Yeah, okay, that's great. You're not friends with the Allie, are you?
Allie who?
The bowling, the lane, the gutter ball.
Oh, no.
No.
I don't go close to the...
You don't? You're a pretty good bowler. That's nice.
pretty good.
You know that ball. Do you pitch?
I do. I'm a pitcher.
Oh yeah, I can tell. That's same motion like throwing
Yes,
that
sir,
old
that's the key.
bowling ball. Right, okay. Sister Sarah.
Every at bat, I have to go in and kind of swing my bat just a little bit back and forth. To
Really?
Get into my motion.
Are you a home run hitter?
Sometimes.
You are? Have you hit a few this year?
She has.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't mean this ugly. You're built. You look like a strong, and you're pretty too. That's a plus. But you got power. Wow. Does anybody else? Do you hit home runs?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What do you hit?
You're
great on defense.
I hit
right?
tons of home runs.
You do?
No.
The 4 singles that
I
add up
just
to a
hit the
home
ball
run?
and run.
That's
I got
good.
speed.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you beat out more hits than we forgot, right?
Right.
Okay, well that's good. Well, girls, I tell you what, this question, I was asking the coach about it. I'm curious how you feel about it. Is your best softball still ahead of you? We'll start with you.
Yes, sir, I think it is. You know, we've played some good softball, and like Saturday, you know, we played great. You know, we came together as a team. We did everything we could, but I think that we have a great road ahead of us, and I think that the best is going to come when the time is right.
Well, now, Joe, you got 3 seniors here and 1 junior. Now, where are you headed to school next year?
I'm actually going to play at Mississippi State next year. So.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Softball scholarship?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Mississippi State, that's pretty good. And where are you going to be going, baby?
I'll be playing at South Alabama.
South Alabama scholarship?
Yes, sir.
Bless your heart. Well, Callie?
I'm not playing in college.
You're not? Now, what are you going to be doing?
I'll be at Southern Union in Auburn.
Oh, really? What kind of courses you take? What would you like to be one day if it's not a softball coach?
I want to get my MBA in accounting.
Really? That's terrific. And Sister Sarah, you don't have to worry about that the next year. If I see you again, I'm going to ask you that question, okay? Well, girls, I've had a great time talking to you. Got one last question I'm going to ask each and every one of you. And we'll start with you, Maddie. To this point in your life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Probably my grandmother. You know, she's went through a lot, and you know, I just look up to her and play it for her. And
Well, good for you. Well, evidently, she's been a great influence on you because
Yes,
you're
sir.
an outstanding player as well. Bailey, who about you?
Probably my parents. They've pushed me to higher standards, and I just couldn't be grateful. So.
That's terrific. Callie?
Both my mom and dad evenly. My dad has special attributes he gives me. My mom, I can go to both of them whenever I need them. They're both very supportive.
Well, has your dad been out pitching with you a lot?
Always. I've met him in the shin many times.
I'm sure you have. Sarah, how about you?
Both my parents. My mom's always there when I need to talk to her, and my dad's always doing everything he can to support our family.
Well, I tell you what, girls, it's been a delight to meet you. You've had an outstanding season thus far, but our best softball is yet to be played, right?
Right.
I'll say good luck to y'all, and boy, wouldn't it be nice to niche a state championship at the end of this year?
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, another coach, more players. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Ted Townley in Homewood today.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I've got another coach here with me, and we're changing sports this time. We're going to be talking about soccer, and we're going to be talking about girls soccer in particular, and Mountain Brook girls soccer. Our gentleman sitting next to me is the new coach there at Mountain Brook's girls soccer team. And Coach Uday, Ike Uday, tell me a little bit first about yourself and then how in the world you ended up in this country, because we haven't talked about that and I think it's very interesting.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was playing for the Nigerian national team and also playing for a semi-pro team in Nigeria. And a gentleman, flew in from the U.S. and at the time he was a student at Alabama A&M University. And he said, he came up to me and said, my coach really would like to use your help at Alabama A&M University. I said, where is that? He said, USA. I said, well, I'll be glad to, to do that. And I started talking to them. We started the process of me coming out here, and few months later, I was out there playing for Alabama A&M University.
And if I'm not mistaken, you told me that you come over to this country when? In
1992 on a soccer scholarship.
So you have been here a while.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
all right, well, tell me a little bit, now that's about your personal background. Tell me how you ended up being the coach there at Mountain Brook and what has led you to that position.
Well, I have coached, a couple of teams in the state of Alabama. I was a head coach at Hoover High School boys program. I coached at Spain Park, Huntsville High School head coach, So I have been around, coaching, but I took a long break, with me and my wife, decided we're gonna, have our family, So
Right.
I took a long, couple of years, away from soccer. And when I heard about the opportunity at Mountain Brook, I called the AD and they wanted to talk to him about, coming back again into coaching again.
Oh, okay. Now, I know how it is to be associated with other schools because I do the play-by-play for Vestavia High football. I've been doing that for 17 years.
Okay.
And I live in Trussville, had some Hewitt softball coach and some of his players. Okay. And then, of course, I've been associated with Mountain Brook and all these schools during the years here. I've been doing this show 17 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I recognize coaches, and you've got the most interesting background of anyone I've talked to so far. And I know when I was talking with the coach about giving you a call, Coach Flowers. Yes, and he said, Snapper, I don't coach soccer anymore. And I didn't realize that because I had him in my directory. And he says, told me who you were, and he says, he took an interesting journey to get here. He said, you'll really enjoy it. Well, how have you found soccer here in the U.S.? I know coaching is a whole lot different from playing, but yet there are a ton of similarities as well.
Yes, sir. I have played soccer. Growing up in Nigeria, that's all we did. That's all we did. We just, play soccer. We didn't have football. We didn't have baseball. We have some track and field and some, basketball, but not a lot. So everybody pretty much on the street, playing. So having done that, I was able to get better with it and was, called to the national team. From there, I came to A&M. While playing on the A&M, I was the top scorer for A&M for years, And my senior year, I was drafted by Kansas City.
Is that
in the Major League Soccer. Mm-hmm. So I played with Kansas City, but also I went on to play with the Jacksonville Cyclones in Jacksonville, Florida, and the Carolina Dynamo.
Wow.
In Carolina, So.
All right. Well, now then, here's the most obvious question.
Yes, sir.
What kind of challenges has it been to coach ladies soccer, being a male star all those years? And then you go over to the other gender, the young ladies. What kind of challenges has that presented you?
A lot, I should say, and I have to be honest with you, this is actually, I help out with the female soccer team, Alabama A&M, but I say when I was doing my master's degree. Mm-hmm. So I help out a little bit, but I wasn't the head coach, I was just a help, But, being out here at Mountain Brook, coaching girls, for the first time, it's funny enough because, sometimes I would say certain things and my girls would be like, oh, coach, we girls, you don't say it like that, So, so I have to ease up and, find a better way to, to get to them, because it's a different, situation right there,
right.
But I do enjoy coaching.
I was going to say, I'll use basketball as an example because I understand that better. They'll say, the difference between coaching men's basketball and girls' basketball is the basics. Girls do better, passing, shooting, and that kind of teamwork, where the guys want to be the highlight reel, that kind of thing, slam dunks and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. The ladies play basic basketball. Well, have you found out that the ladies play basic soccer just as well as the young men?
Oh yeah, you're right about that, because the boys, we want to show off our macho-ness, that we're strong, so we want to, run faster than anybody and do that stuff. But you're right, girls want to take their time, they want to build it, pass it around and, be able to, move it up the field, so you're right about that, yeah.
When they're going into this year, did you have any idea of how good this team was going to be? Because they're pretty good, they're in the top 10.
That's right.
And playing some good soccer. Did that surprise you, or when you got there, you found out they were better athletes than maybe you thought they would be?
No, I try, to tell you the truth. What I did when I got the job, I went back and looked at, the history, how Mountain Brook has done in the past, and I noticed they have done pretty good, I did talk to Coach Flowers, and he did mention that we lost a lot of seniors, from last year. So I know we're gonna be young, this year, and we got a couple of, seniors that are really good for us, but overall we get a lot of younger players, we do have an 8th grade on the team, so.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because I said 8th grade. I said, is that right? And you said, yeah. As a matter of fact, she's one of the better players.
But do not underestimate her. She's as tough they can get. So she actually have done a lot of good stuff for us. In the midfield.
Well, now I talked with coaches about this, and you and your team have had a very good season thus far. But every coach, and I think the players have to think along these lines, but maybe not as much as you do. I think the number one objective for every coach is for his team to peak come playoff time. And we're not that far away. You're into the second half of your season, and the playoffs are right around the corner. Last question I'll be asking you is, do you feel like this team is going to peak when it's supposed to, and has the opportunity to do some damage come state playoff time?
And and I shared that with the girls today. I told them, hey, we're gonna put the first half behind us. This is the second half. This is where who's actually tough. Who's actually good. And I told them, you can ask them. I told them, I feel really good about the second half. And we just gotta come out and work together as a team, and things gonna happen for us.
Well, I tell you what, I look forward to talking with the young ladies. It's been awfully nice to meet you. And I'm tickled to death to find out that, hey, Mountain Brook's got somebody that knows something about football, only it's a different kind of football. It's like our football ought to be called something else. Your soccer should be football, but awfully good to meet you. And it sounds like you've had a great season thus far, and I hope the best is yet to come.
Yes, okay? I really appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Okay, folks, we can take a quick break. We come back. 4 young ladies has been very instrumental in the success the Mountain Brook Lady Spartans have had in their soccer season so far. We'll be right back. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
The community features a world-class, resort and spa. The amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course. Miles of historic trails. And the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I've got 4 beautiful young ladies up here that are pretty good soccer players. And so, as a matter of fact, they're team 10-4 and a tie so far this year, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Why did you not win the tie game? Okay, we won't get into that. It must have been a tough opponent. First of all, we've got Nicole Stroll.
Yes.
Stroll, and you're a senior, and you are a center backer.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, exactly what does that do?
I'm the last person in the defense, so I
okay.
Yeah, I'm one. There's 2 center backs, and I'm one of them. So.
You're our safety almost.
Yes.
Well, okay, good for you. And Lainey, you're a senior. You're a defender.
Yes, sir.
Which position you play?
I have been playing outside back, right outside back this year, and I've been playing next to Nicole, and I have a similar role. I'm one of the last lines of defense as well.
Yeah, so y'all are heavily dependent on when we don't want other people to score, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Then Hallie Meadows, an 8th grader.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is, you're so good, I guess, we couldn't even find a position for you. Do you play multiple positions?
I have kind of moved everywhere this season, but right now I'm back in midfield.
Oh, really?
Yes,
now,
sir.
is a midfield a scorer?
It can be a scorer.
Or it's the first line of defense?
Actually, well, it's both.
Both?
You play offense and defense.
Versatility, right?
Yes, sir.
Versatile athlete, absolutely. And then Miss Catherine, and you have something to do with the midfield position, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your position.
I'm either playing in the midfield or kind of out wide, so I'm right there with Hallie.
Oh, okay. Now, a defender or?
Defender and offense.
Oh, so y'all can go either way. Y'all are right there in the middle of the field, right?
Yeah, we're just stuck in the back.
Okay, all right. Well, Nicole, going into this season, did you feel like you and your teammates had the capability to play as well as you have thus far and maybe be better, especially as we get closer to the playoffs?
For sure. This season's a lot different than last season. I think we have so much team chemistry this season, and I've never been so close to a team like this, especially in high school soccer. And so I think that that's a really important thing for us to have, especially as girls. You have to be close to play well on the field. So I feel like going into playoffs, having that chemistry that we have right now is going to really help us push through.
Well, you're probably right about that. And Lainey, the thing that I wonder about is the versatility of this team. Do you feel like your strength is offense or defense, or there's a good combination of both?
I honestly think there's a great combination of both. I think our defense is definitely very strong just because we have a lot, maybe more experience there, but also, with Hallie, an 8th grader, coming in and being a great player up front, and we have several other freshmen and sophomores and underclassmen that are definitely making a great difference up top too, which is.
Now, Hallie, the obvious question I should be asking you is, have you had a problem meshing with these older players, or does it just come natural with you?
Not at all, I haven't. Last season, Coach Scott gave me a great opportunity, and I practiced with the girls, but I was the manager. And then Nicole and Lainey, they treat me really well. And so I just kind of...
We always joke about how we think she's a senior. People are like, so what college are you going to next year? We're like, no,
Really?
she's in 8th grade.
She's got a couple more years.
That's a compliment. And now, Catherine, you're the junior.
I am.
Now, do you feel like this soccer team, you and your teammates, have y'all played y'all best soccer yet, or is the best yet to come?
Wow, that's a good question. I think that we started off the season with a bang, just beating teams and stuff, but we're working hard and we're just keeping going, making our way to the playoffs.
Well, now you haven't had many valleys. You've been on the peaks most of the time, so y'all have got to have the mental makeup
to where you like that position. I mean, you want to be as good as you can possibly be. Well, the one thing I like to ask young athletes, both male and female, is I know y'all, and when I say y'all, I'm talking about athletes, are a superstitious bunch for the most part. Now, what I want to know, this is the first time I met you young ladies, what would I find interesting about you if you're not superstitious about this or that? Do you have a hobby like, say you sing in the shower and you really sing good, the shower goes off and all of a sudden you're not so good? Or do you write poetry or play the piano? Is there something? What is it about you that would surprise me if this is the first time I met you? So we'll talk with you first, Nicole. What would surprise me if you told me about yourself?
Oh my goodness, I have no idea. I feel like you could answer that.
That's funny. Nicole is kind of a jack of all trades, I would honestly say. But what's funny about Nicole is she has a super outgoing personality, but she also kind of loves being more like introverted, and she's really like, she loves to read and she loves to draw, and I don't know, I think that's something interesting about her, because that just gets her back in like.
You say read and draw? Mm-hmm. Draw characters, or what do you draw?
I mean, I'm not like great. Like, it's nothing I would probably show people, but I do, like, it's really like relaxing. I just like draw like random things. It's kind of doodling, but like I really, really love reading, which is like when people meet me, they're like, "You like to read?" Like, it's kind of like Nicole, and so I guess that's kind of like a weird thing about me.
Well, you know what? With that reading comes knowledge.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah, that's what I say.
Now, reading puts me to sleep.
Really?
Really, I'm serious. And so I have never read like I ought to, but I'm making a point that that's how you gain knowledge. Okay, Lainey, now what is it about you that would surprise me, or if you told people, they'd say, "Oh, well, that don't sound like Lainey"?
I think you would answer that one for me.
Okay, so Lainey, sorry, we're like the same person. Lainey is very dedicated to everything she does. It's incredible. Like, I've never seen someone work so hard in anything. I mean, it could be like the simplest things, but she really wants to be like a neurosurgeon when she gets older.
Focused, aren't you?
Yes.
You focus on a project or whatever, and that's what you want to get done.
Yeah, she sets her mind to it.
Oh my goodness, okay. Now, Hallie, what would I find out about an 8th grader that would surprise me or interest me?
I'm actually with Nicole, except for I do not like to read. It also puts me to sleep. I like to draw. I just doodle things that are in my sight.
Yeah, well, like you said, though, that's a common effect, if you will, or something. Yeah, sure. Catherine. Now, bail us out. What here? You're an operatic singer?
No.
No?
That's not me.
What do we need to know about you?
I'm a free floater. Whatever I'm feeling for the week is what I do.
You're a free spirit?
Yes.
You are?
Oh, yeah.
But you're under control?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know
it's
what?
It's not wild.
One thing that's amazing me about young ladies and the chemistry is because you ladies are high-strung when it comes to us guys, and sometimes it's harder for ladies to get along, and which is sort of normal. It's not knocking or anything like that. It's a lady thing, okay? So that's neat that the chemistry is really good, because that's how you become the best you can be, not only as a team but as individuals. Last question. To this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons in your life? And we'll start with you, Nicole.
This isn't, I'm not trying to be cliche, but really my mom, like, she's the most hardworking person with having a job and like taking care of all of us. And I just think she's done like a really great job, like raising me and my brothers. And she honestly, like, she's my best friend. Like, I love her. So.
Terrific, terrific. How about you, Lainey?
I know I probably have to join the bandwagon on that one. I'd probably say my mom as well. She just is able to balance so many different aspects of all of our crazy lives, and she just has been such a great support system throughout my 17 years so far, and so I look up to her every day.
Okay, how about you, Hannah?
Mothers are heroes.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, Catherine.
You know, I'm just gonna go with the whole family.
Well, that's the way it ended up, the whole family. Well, let me tell you what, girls, it's been a delight meeting y'all.
You too.
You've had a good season thus far. The way you make it a great season is go out and do some damage in that tournament, okay?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
But,
Yes, sir.
but nice to meet y'all. And good luck the rest of the season, okay?
Thank you.
And folks, good night until I see you again. You know what the snapper always says, bicycle.